Welcome back into the video. This should be the final and last episode on the Jeep. We are going to be working on 2010 Jeep Liberty. Last episode, we finished up the head gasket. Seems to be running fine. Haven't had any issues so far anyway. So this next one, we're going to knock out a few little odds and ends, and then we'll be giving it back, and it'll be done with it. So, biggest odds and ends to knock out, as you can see, there's some two giant rust holes here, and I'm pretty sure they originated from where this piece clips in. So I went ahead to a junkyard and picked up another tailgate. It was about 60 bucks, actually 50 bucks. And then, yeah, so I did not notice on this new tailgate that there was a pretty nice little rust hole in here. It looked like just some bubbled paint. So I took a wire wheel, ground it all out until it was just bare metal. Got some rust dissolver and hit it on the back side, let it sit for a while, washed it off with water, and then threw a layer of primer over it, and then threw a layer of bondo over it. The idea is basically we're just gonna fill it in, sand it smooth. And then up here, this is nowhere near as big. It was a very small little ding, but it had a nice wide area. So I'm gonna go ahead and sand this smooth as well. We are repainting this to match that blue, at least as close as I can get it. Went ahead and ordered the paint and everything. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and put 30 guys in time lapse. We're gonna knock this out. Should be, well, hopefully it'll work out pretty well. All right, so I went ahead and got some different type of paint I want to try out. So I did order the actual Mopar stuff from a color match place online. However, I ran across this and it's duplicolors and it's actually a deep blue, which is supposed to be the same color that the Jeep is. So I wasn't tracking that they actually sold this in AutoZone pre-mixed, ready to go. I have a Harbor Freight paint gun I picked up here. I was originally using for a different project, but I figured might as well send it and just see how it works. And then a gloss clear coat. So on top of that, I'm going to test everything on this inside panel area. It's going to be the same blue as the Jeep and is sitting right there. However, I want to make sure it works and I kind of have an idea of what I'm looking for before I do the outside coat. And I also picked up a water filter right here. I did notice I used that spray gun last time for another job and I started picking up a lot of water moisture coming out of the hose. So I went ahead and picked up one of these and I figure hopefully that'll help kind of keep that to a minimum. But that's the plan. I'm gonna go ahead and hook everything up and we'll let it drying and see how it works out. All right, so I'm gonna be real with y'all. Spray guns are freaking cheating. They came out a million times smoother and a lot faster and just better pattern and everything compared to like a spray can, which I used to paint the freaking Dodge over there. But this is what it looks like. A little orange peely, but honestly, I really could care less. It looks pretty good in my opinion. So looks like we have a little bit of a reaction. Maybe I put a little thick in here. And again, I'm not super worried about it. This is why we're testing out the inside. I realized it was coming out thick, so I thinned it up a little bit and came out really good. This whole area was on the back side of that rust patch. I did grind all this off, so there's no official rust there anymore. But it was coming through the other side. Going around though, I mean, I went way thick here. I didn't even notice that. So you can see all that right in there. It didn't initially come out like that, but thinner is definitely better. Try to hit a little bit of a second coat in here for no real reason, but that's why I was testing it on this side. So thinner coats noted, and coats plural are probably going to be necessary because there's some thin spots up in here. But there you go. So I'm going to go ahead and call that a win. Notes for when we do the back of the Jeep side, the actual tailgate, or this tailgate once it's on there. What we're going to do is just basically do thin coats, let it dry, and then another thin coat, and so on. And I think it's going to come out just great. Using it, like I said, again, just cheap Harbor Freight spray gun. I think it was like maybe 20 bucks. And I already have an air compressor and stuff. The filter I did not get a chance to hook up because apparently can't read 3/8 inch, and all my connectors are 1/2 inch, like the standard size. So these things are massive, and I can't fit it. I can't fit the threads. So yeah, got to make do with what we got right now. But that's really annoying. This thing was not super cheap. I'll have to get an adapter or something like that. But there you have it. So pretty happy with how this is coming out. Once it's finished drying, I didn't do the whole area because there's a whole plastic cover that goes over this whole thing. Just needed to get the edges so when you lift up the tailgate, it doesn't look, you know, like there's obviously some color that's missing that's supposed to be there. Well, it's okay-ish, I guess. I was hoping for better results from the color match. However, this is kind of what you get when you order. Best I can do is match the VIN number, which is what I went through, and that's what we got. So you can obviously tell this is definitely not the same color. It looks very highlighted on camera. In person, it's not quite as bad, but still. So the next issue is the paint gun did not lay out the smoothest. Definitely user error. This is my second time really using a paint gun to try and do anything like this. I don't think I would have been any better off with regular spray paint, but it is what it is. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do now, same thing I did on the other truck when I painted that, is we're gonna go ahead and take some wet sanding and polish to it. So this is kind of what you're dealing with. You can kind of see it there. So I went ahead and took some 1500 grit and then 2000 and then some polish. Just did it by hand just to show you the difference. But you can see how much better that looks, especially in the light. So nice reflection, dull, nice reflection. So it's not perfect by any means, but it is better and it's closer to a factory finish. I just don't think I have the ability personally to get this perfect, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm trying to do this on a budget and this is about as close as I can get it. So I figured from the back end anyway, as long as it's on that seam right there, it'll look better than if it was just the tailgate. So I don't know, a professional body shop will be able to take care of this. If he really wants to do it in the future, probably the place to take it. But I'm gonna go ahead and wet sand the rest of this. Been baking out in the sun all day, and we're gonna go ahead and take this down, hopefully to get it a nice, decent clear like that, as opposed to where it's just real rough up in there like that. So that's what I'm gonna go ahead and do. I'm gonna do that off camera and just kind of send it, and hopefully it turns out all right. Alrighty, well, that's pretty much best as I can get it. It's not perfect, but I mean, for not having professional body work or body paint type of thing, I really wish this line was closer in color. If you look at it, you know, at this angle, don't really notice it, but this right here, I mean, directly in the back, I don't think it's too bad. Still noticeable, but not too bad. Bumper isn't really a huge deal. Again, I wish I could get it better, but I can't. I think if the paint color was closer, I'd be able to get it at least a little better. That's just not the same paint. So it is what it is. So this is it. I went ahead and took 400 grit to it, and then 1000, and then 2000 to try and get as best of a flat gloss as I could. And I mean, it's all right. You can see the trash cans and the reflection right there. Like, there is some gloss. It's just I don't know how to get it any better than this right now. So if he wants to take it to a professional body shop, by all means, they'll probably repaint it and match it and everything. For right now, the big thing was getting rid of the rust holes, which are gone obviously. It's a different tailgate. The section that was repaired here is obviously clean. I did fix a dinger that was right here, so that's clean now. And there was another ding in here somewhere that I flattened out that's gone now. But that's pretty much gonna conclude the Jeep project. I did throw in a new shock. I'll show you the old one real quick. The old one right here, as you can tell, is kind of coated in some grease. Pretty much had blown out and was leaking shock fluid everywhere. So, but that's gonna go ahead and do it for this video. Jeep project's done. I'm getting a U-Haul later today and I'm gonna tow it back. Transmission for the truck still doesn't come in, so I'm not taking my big trailer just because I'm worried about it. So I figure U-Haul will be a lot less stressed because they're a lighter trailer, and not having a giant box behind me, I'll have better, less resistance and everything like that. So that's gonna, like I said, that's gonna do it for today's video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.